Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Kat.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good
How
to
are
hear.
you?
I'm good. I'm stoked for tonight because you know what we're talking about. Uh-oh, something just broke.
What happened?
I think my roommate just dropped something.
Oh.
He was so excited about what we're talking about.
I almost said spooked. That's not
Spooked.
at all
No, not even a little. You might be after we're done here.
stoked. See, this is why I'm not a cool person because I don't know.
Spooked. I love it.
Oh my god.
Well,
Okay, I might be spooked.
we're
Oh god.
talking about essential oils tonight.
Uh,
Yep.
Oh my
The
goodness. Okay. So, all right. So, should we fill people in?
yes.
Okay, we are. Hello, welcome to Greening Up My Act. If you've never been here before, we. What do we do? No, we review products that are marketed as eco-friendly or sustainable, and we debunk the ones that are full of shit and
AKA Green Hooey. Yep.
green hooey, that's what we like to call it, because we are two marketing writers and we understand marketing fluff that
Hmm.
means absolutely nothing that people and companies add in to make themselves look better.
Hmm.
So we're trying to make sure that you know that you're informed and that you don't have to do the horrible, actually it's kind of fun for
It's
us,
kind of
but
fun.
like
Yeah.
the research that other people don't have time to do or don't have any interest in doing. Yeah, that's what we're here doing. And we've been shitting on essential oils the entire season.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
so
I think we took a
curious.
turn. We took a
We
turn
did. We did.
in DIY household cleaner, all-purpose cleaner.
Yes, I found some interesting things about its disinfectant properties. And I was like, wait a second, maybe we're wrong about all of
It's
this.
possible, yeah. And we have even throughout the season recommended some recipes that use essential oils. So,
Yeah, specifically lemon was a big one.
lavender and thyme. Yep.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
So I'm gonna take you through essential oils, and I just want to say first of all, it's freaking complicated. Okay.
I knew it.
But let me go through quickly my list of so many
Oh
sources
god.
here.
Okay.
So the first one I had was your National Library of Medicine article on essential oils as antimicrobial agents, myth or real alternative, which you sent to me. That was our spurred us into all this. Uh,
Mhm.
then I also got an overview of essential oils by the NIH, National Institute of Health, a study on prepubertal gynecomastia and lavender and tea tree oils, again from the National Library of Medicine, the essentials of essential oils around pets from the ASPCA. The
Oh.
Cleveland Clinic did a essential oils 101. How do they work and how do you use them?
Mhm.
I also went to Healthline for what are essential oils. Another NLM article on aromatherapy, one on inhaled essential oils and sleep.
Hmm.
Another NLM article on the history of essential oils, and then a couple articles on sustainability. One was from thekindstoreonline.co.uk. Another one was from Sustainably Chic. And then I also referenced the red list of threatened species from IUCN.
Oh.
So that's my
Wow.
long list of links that we will provide to you.
Oh boy. Okay.
So I just want to start with what are essential oils, right? So,
Mhm.
according to the National Institute of Health, the NIH, they are concentrated plant extracts that retain the neutral smell and flavor of their source. That's
Okay.
the most basic. They're from plants, right?
Yeah.
Healthline reports that they're made through distillation, which could include water or steam, which forces the oil out of the plant, or they can use mechanical methods like cold pressing. Because cold
Hmm.
pressing doesn't use heat, it kind of retains
Makes sense
more of
with
the
the name.
properties, kind of like with juice. Yeah. But it's probably a more expensive process.
Okay.
But once the aromatic chemicals have been extracted, they're combined with a carrier oil. And if they're made through chemical processes, such as like not water or steam or mechanical methods, they're not considered true essential oils. So chemical extraction is a possibility, but those aren't
Oh.
true essential oils.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
yeah. The history of essential oils is long. There are over 90 types of essential oils, again, according to Healthline. And according to the NIH, the ancient Egyptians started using aromatic oils as early as 4500 BCE. So
Hmm.
for perfumes, but also cleaning. In China and India, there are records of essential oils being used in medicine between 3000 and 2000 BCE. And the Greeks documented using them between 500 and 400 BCE. So, to bring us into the modern era, chemists in the 18th and 19th centuries started using active components of medicinal plants, so things that were probably already in use from households.
Mhm.
And that's actually where we get caffeine, quinine, morphine, and atropine from,
Thank God for that. I'm just
right? You need all those things.
kidding.
Except I don't really know what atropine is, but
I don't either. I just like caffeine.
yeah, yeah, caffeine's important. But that's the history of essential oils. Basically, brings us.
Wow.
I didn't really
That's
get
like
into
that's a
the modern
long.
day, but I it's mostly in the modern era. It's you find people who are into Chinese or Eastern medicine tend to tout essential oils a lot more,
Okay.
and that harkens back to them being used in medicine there, for the last 4,000 years. So
Yeah, I mean, some people swear by them,
yes.
and it always confused me. Like, for example, not to go on a tangent, but I went to a yoga class, and yoga can be a little I love yoga, but it can be
Hmm.
very annoying.
Yeah.
Like the fact my friend Anisha did I mention this before? I never remember what I mentioned on the podcast,
I
but
know.
she told me that namaste means hello,
Yeah.
and you say it at the end of
Yeah.
every yoga. Anyway, that's beside the point. So this one amazing, like my favorite yoga class ever, came up and spread lavender essential oil on my neck and
Yeah.
like did a little massage after every
Yeah.
session, and it was honestly amazing and wonderful and lovely. But I also was like, am I killing myself? Like, is this safe? Like, I don't know about this stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, I've definitely had yoga classes where they definitely use aromatherapy, especially at the end.
yes, I think that's probably yeah.
Yeah. It's okay, so now we'll get into the supposed benefits, right?
Hmm.
And that mostly centers around their aromatherapy benefits. Okay. So
Oh,
they
really?
claim they can boost mood, improve sleep, and reduce anxiety.
Okay.
There are some essential oils that go even further, they think, that reduce nausea, inflammation, headaches, and possibly pain. So
Hmm.
that's the claims they're making. Most essential oils are not meant to be ingested.
Right.
So some people I know that doTERRA sells little capsules of like peppermint or other essential oils that you can throw into your
Oh.
water.
Oh.
So here are some Healthline's list of 10 popular essential oils and their health claims. So peppermint is supposed to be used to boost energy and aid in digestion. Lavender is supposed to relieve stress. Sandalwood is used to calm your nerves and help with focus. Bergamot is used to reduce stress and improve skin conditions like eczema.
Hmm.
Rose is supposed to improve your mood and reduce anxiety. Chamomile is supposedly improve mood and relaxation.
Hmm.
Lang Lang can be used to treat headaches, nausea, and skin conditions. Tea tree is used to fight infections and boost immunity. I know it's used for acne a lot. Jasmine is supposedly good with depression, childbirth, and your libido. And
What?
lemon is used to aid digestion, mood, headaches, and more.
Huh. Well, it's interesting because a lot of this is like tea also,
Yeah,
jasmine tea, but I guess
yeah.
it's a different
Chamomile
form.
tea. Yeah. So, and we kind of get into that. Like, are essential oils really the way to go?
Okay.
So the facts about the benefits. This is the problem. There's not a lot of research, or at least good research.
Oh, no.
So when you buy essential oils, you usually find they have some benefits listed, but there's a fine print that says this has not been confirmed by the FDA
Okay.
or modern research, or this is not backed up by research. One reason is because there's so many different types of scents and combinations that it makes it hard to do a blind study on them, right?
Mm. Mhm.
So PubMed said that a recent study of over 201 different publications found that only 10 of those studies that they were culling together had rigorous enough methods to be included in their research.
Oh, wow.
And from those, the team concluded that aromatherapy was ineffective at treating anxiety, or at least the evidence was insufficient.
Huh.
So it's too hard to say. I mean,
Uh-huh.
there's some evidence that dabbing peppermint and ethanol, peppermint and lavender, or chamomile and sesame oil to the temples can help reduce headache, pain, or migraines.
Mhm.
But again, the studies aren't particularly robust or high quality.
Okay, so it doesn't mean it's not true, but it definitely doesn't mean it's
Has been
true.
proven, right.
Yeah,
There are several studies that showed that essential oils can have anti inflammatory effects, but this was only shown in test tubes or mice studies. There aren't really human studies to back it up.
interesting.
So there's compelling evidence that maybe it's true, but again, they haven't done the studies in humans.
Okay.
But there are some proven effects. So, according to one study, smelling lavender oil can apparently help with sleep.
Mhm. Okay.
Applying citronella oil, diluted, this is important, to the skin can repel mosquitoes for up to 2 hours or three if you combine it with vanillin.
Oh, I believe that. I
Yes.
believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I use that I don't use DEET, I use the, like, "natural" quote, unquote stuff, and it
Yeah.
actually works really well. I used it
It
in
does.
Egypt, of all places, and the
Oh, wow.
mosquitoes were like birds,
Yeah.
and it worked. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I use the natural stuff here too. Um,
Nice.
there have been studies showing that lavender, tea tree oil, and others can have antimicrobial properties, again, what you found.
Mhm.
But again, these are test tube studies, so there's not really indication that ingesting or inhaling essential oils can fight bacteria inside of the human body. So it may be good for cleaning your surfaces,
Mhm.
but not like fighting a bacterial infection inside of your body.
Okay.
So for the most part, most essential oils can help make things smell better. And if you're using them as a therapy in conjunction with something else, they probably won't do much harm. Probably.
Really?
Yes. And there is something to be said about the placebo effect. It's important to understand that we don't really know how the human brain does that, but you can even be told that somebody is giving you a sugar pill and it can work.
Whoa.
So,
Yeah.
not going to yuck anyone's yum there. If essential oils, inhaling them or using them helps you feel better, go for it. Follow your doctor's advice, whoever your doctor is, Godspeed. But there are issues they can cause.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I was like, "Are they
Yes.
actually safe?"
So here's the biggest one. Biggest problem is that concentrated essential oils can be caustic.
Okay.
So burn yourself. You have to dilute them, especially if you ingest them or use them on your skin.
Mhm.
So the biggest issue caused is usually a rash, but there's also asthma, headaches, and other allergic reactions. And at least one instance of death by an essential oil has been reported.
What?
Yeah.
Was that like an allergic reaction?
Yeah, or overconsumption. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Another issue, citrus essential oils like lemon oil, if you use them on the skin, they can increase sunlight's effects, which can lead to sunburn.
Mhm.
Cinnamon and other high phenol essential oils can be harmful to skin. They can burn. Again, tea
Okay.
tree oil has also been said to be, it can be gnarly.
Bernie.
Yeah. Also, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, there are no studies that show whether it's okay to use essential oils out there.
Okay.
So again, err on the side of caution. But they say that
Wow,
about
that's
most
interesting.
drugs. Nobody can ethically test on pregnant or breastfeeding women.
Right. That is
It's just
true.
unethical. So you just gotta avoid things. A really interesting thing that there is some evidence that, and this was lavender, I think it was, let me say here, lavender and tea tree can cause breast growth in young boys
What?
if you use them on the skin. They did not study aromatherapy uses, but this was skin contact with essential oils.
So that's a hormone thing?
Yeah. So the
That doesn't
NIH said, yeah,
okay.
previous studies have shown that lavender and tea tree oil may act as endocrine disrupting chemicals, which have been
Ooh.
associated with several health issues. EDCs are substances in the environment, air, soil, or water, food sources, personal care products, and manufactured products that interfere with the normal function of your body's endocrine system.
That's not good. Wait, you said that's tea tree and what?
Tea tree and lavender were the ones that they studied.
Oh.
And then they went through 93 essential oils, and there were 8 chemicals appeared most often. Each of the 8 chemicals, I mean, they list what they are and what they appear in. I won't go through the list, but it's like a
Mhm.
majority of the essential oils contain these 8 chemicals that are probably the culprits. So,
Oh.
but again,
Even if they're from different plants?
yes, yeah.
Hmm.
Again, not enough evidence. They don't know. There's some indication it's possibly true. They couldn't study prepubescent breast growth in young girls because young girls grow breasts anyway. So there's too many other
Right.
factors that go into it. So they don't know if it's caused in. But if it disrupts the endocrine in boys, it probably does in girls.
I know, there's no reason why it wouldn't.
Right.
That's really interesting. And
Yeah.
also, yeah, that's quite scary.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because who knows what else it's doing, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm wondering the endocrine thing, that's not just a kid thing. Like,
No.
you can also have as an adult, you can have effects if you come into contact with that type of
Right.
disruptor, right?
Yeah. And just because they don't have a study out there doesn't mean it doesn't happen. So it's the
Right.
same that's true of the placebo effect, could be the nocebo effect, like
Is that a term?
yes, no, a
Whoa.
nocebo effect is when you believe that something causes you harm, so it does, which is what they chalk up the scare against MSG to, because there's no
Oh,
real chemical reason why anybody would have a reaction to it. It's basically just salt, but it was like a
so interesting.
anti-Asian panic in the 90s, 80s and
Uh-huh.
90s.
Yep.
And the same with
Wow.
a lot of gluten issues that people have when they don't have celiac, they think
Wow.
could be chalked up to nocebo effect. And the thing is that you can't tell anyone they don't have a gluten intolerance, right?
Mhm.
Because if they believe it's happening to them, it is. You will have the
Yeah.
physical reaction the same as if it really was. So it doesn't really matter if you test positive for a gluten intolerance or an allergy. If you believe that you have it, you will have the effects. So
Wow. The brain is amazing.
complicated and amazing, yeah. But I didn't mean to say that. I think in the absence of evidence, it's really hard to say whether essential oils are bad or good. You know,
Mhm.
it's hard to say what their true benefits are and what their true harms are. So,
The hard thing about essential oils is that people use them so intimately. Like, I used to spray
yeah,
lavender mixed with water on I mean, it was not constant or yeah, it was unconcentrated, whatever you
yeah,
diluted, and
yeah,
I would spray it on my pillow at night, and it's like, that's right there,
yeah.
up in my grill,
Well, and
literally.
it can apparently there is evidence that the aromatherapy effects. Again, you're not ingesting it or putting it, rubbing it on your skin. So the aromatherapy effects do have some proven benefits for sleep.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a baby with the bathwater issue, right?
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, it's disrupting your endocrine receptors. Like we only have some evidence that it does that to young boys who had direct skin contact with lavender and tea tree.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
yeah. Well, the other issue is that not every essential oil is the same.
Mm.
The three things you have to look for in an essential oil provider are purity, quality, and then the reputation of the brand.
Mm.
And they're not regulated by the FDA.
Okay. Go figure.
So one way, if you are going to use essential oils, you want to look for oils that only contain aromatic plant compounds, so they don't have additives or synthetics. In this case, you can usually tell because they'll list the full Latin name of the plant, like Lavandula officinalis, rather than say just essential oil of lavender.
Okay.
Also, they need to be changed the least by their extraction process. So that's why distillation and cold pressing are your best options rather than synthetic or chemical processes.
Okay. I got mine at, like, a fancy, health food store, so they're probably okay, but
I mean, look, that's the thing. Look up the reputation. It's the thing. Like
yeah, I should probably look at it, I guess.
you hope so, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
Now we have heard that essential oils and pets are not a good mix.
Mhm.
So, as with human beings, pets who ingest essential oils, especially concentrated form, can get vomiting, diarrhea, and depression, according to the ASPCA. They can also get
Wow.
unsteady on their feet and have a low body temperature if you apply oil directly to them.
Wow.
So, again, a lot of people maybe aren't rubbing essential oils on their pets, but they may be using aromatherapy systems, right? So, I know a lot of
Mm,
people use oils in a diffuser, you know.
right. Well, it's interesting because I use it on my floors.
Yeah.
I use the peppermint stuff on my floors. I haven't noticed any issues with my dog, but
Yeah. Well, they say they don't really know, again, not really a lot of studies in dogs about aromatherapy, but overall, whether you're using them for yourself, but keep it in a well ventilated area for less than 15 minutes at a time. Make sure they're diluted and
mhm.
keep your pet away from that room while you're doing it.
Okay. So if it's, like, on the floor and then she licks the floor, she's probably gonna be okay.
Yeah, especially if it's diluted. I don't think you're using like you're
No,
probably
it's
using 2 or 3 drops in a
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Okay,
yeah, the real thing is dilute, dilute, dilute.
okay.
And essential oils do go a long way. That's one of their other things.
Yeah, they do.
Now, the other thing of course, we want to go into because we're greening up my act is what about their ecological impact?
Mhm.
Now, this is where things get hairy.
Oh god.
So it takes a lot of any single plant to make essential oils from it. And my dog just walked in. He
I
heard
was
us
gonna say, I
talking about it.
feel like I hear Emmett.
Hi, buddy. I'm going to let him lay down and I'm going to close the door 1 second. Yes, you love essential oils. I'm not burning any in this room. You're totally safe. So,
He's like,
yes.
I heard you talking about pets.
He's like, I must come in and make my presence known. So, according to Sustainably Chic, to produce a single pound of essential oil, you have to use 10,000 pounds of rose petals.
Hold on. Repeat that.
To produce a single pound of essential oil, 16 ounces,
Uh-huh.
you need 10,000 pounds of rose petals, 1,500 lemons, 250 pounds of lavender, 6,000 pounds of melissa plants, 250 pounds of rosemary leaves, 50 pounds of eucalyptus leaves, or 4 million jasmine buds.
What?
Yeah, it's a lot.
4 million? Where do you
Yeah,
even get those? And how do you
uh,
count those? I'm
I
so
know.
confused.
Well, yeah. So you got to think about.
That's insane. I mean, given a pound is a lot of essential oil
Yes,
bottles,
we're
but
usually getting them about a half ounce at a time.
yeah. But
Still,
what is it? 16 ounces in a pound?
yeah, but that's not liquid, so I don't really know
Oh, true.
what the measurement
Oh,
is
yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. Also, most of the processes that create essential oils use steam distillation, which means water usage and
Mhm.
energy in heating up the water.
Mhm.
A byproduct that isn't a bad thing from this process is called hydrosols. So those are basically essential waters of whatever scent you just made. So like rose water, for instance, is made at the same time as essential oil. It's a
Oh,
byproduct
wow.
of the steam process. So those are less concentrated. And it usually happens if the plant is particularly water soluble. I don't think I've ever seen lavender water per se, but there's
Yeah,
rose water and there's
that's
others.
what I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not, I mean, it does, the byproduct is not toxic
Okay.
necessarily.
Okay.
But farming is obviously one of the biggest factors in the sustainability of essential oils
Yeah, I mean, if
because,
you need 4 million rose
yep,
or jasmine buds.
yep, most producers have to use giant farms and pesticides to get enough of the product or plant to make essential oils. And sometimes some essential oils are produced from resin, which means cutting down trees.
Hmm.
Some growers grow their plants in controlled environments like greenhouses or well, more than greenhouses, but they take a lot of energy to maintain temperatures and humidity levels as
Okay.
well.
Did you look in you might get into this, but did you look into Dr. Bronner's?
No, because we already talked about it. I was just going to give it a nod and be like, they did their thing.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because they said that their farms, and I'm not saying that they're like good for the earth to turn, probably rainforest into farms, but
Right.
they they claim that they made them all organic, which is
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you need a shitload of land, then it might not be. Even if you're making it organic, you still have a big impact.
Yeah. You can. And then there's also over harvesting and threatened species like Indian sandalwood, agar wood, rosewood, frankincense, and myrrh.
Hmm.
They're rarer plants, so they're usually wild harvested.
Mm.
So that can make them either prohibitively expensive or they can be illegally manufactured, poached, or traded. And that gets into workers' rights. So if the plants are farmed in a less developed country, that means there's fewer regulations and you get cheaper essential oils, but at the cost of someone's life, basically.
Wow.
So they recommend, look for fair trade essential oils. And they did get into organic farming. So the organic certification can mean that the producer is working on being a better, more sustainable producer. again, some of these plants are gathered in the wild, which means they're never going to get an organic designation. There's not organic wild harvesting.
Okay.
But that means extra research determining whether the wild gathering teams are managing their collection in a way that allows the resource to regenerate. And
Right.
as we all know, if you've ever gone down the rabbit hole of trying to research the sustainability of like I try to look into doTERRA, and they have so much marketing out there.
Right. 18 pages of Google and then maybe one article.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, on the other end of essential oils is what we use to contain them. You usually get them in a glass bottle, but because they're oil, they're flammable. So you can't recycle the glass bottles they come in. You can't rinse it
What?
out because it'll get in the water. And then again, plastic dispensers and bottles are just complete landfill fodder because of their nature and their possible caustic, side.
Mm-hmm.
Some essential oils are household hazardous waste. So you
Whoa.
can't just toss it.
So would you have to theoretically take it to the dump, to
Yeah.
the household hazard? Because we have like I think it's once a week household hazardous waste pickup.
Yeah, they do paint and stuff. Yeah, apparently you should, because
Wow.
again, aquatic life can be negatively impacted by essential oils that are dumped down the drain. And my dog just decided he's tired of us and he wants to
I
leave.
know.
1 second.
Like I love how I hear him.
He's like, no, I don't want to hear about the turtles. Okay, you can go. Thanks, Bubba. Don't come back.
You're not welcome here.
Okay.
Okay, so wait, sorry, I missed the thing about aquatic life.
Just as, touching a dog with your lavender oil can cause them problems, essential oils are bad for aquatic life.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense.
not a lot of research on that again, but any oil you're dumping down the drain is not going to be great.
Right. It's so funny. It's so funny to me because it's
Yeah.
like just such a hippy dippy thing to
Well, yeah,
use.
and I get it because again, we've talked so much this season about how if there's a fragrance in something, that's probably the worst part of it because
Yes.
companies can get away with it. And so to have a fragrance that comes from a plant, thank God, right?
Right.
But then there's all these other issues you have to consider.
Okay.
So, what to do to be more sustainable with your essential oils? So, Sustainably Chic was like, you can pry them out of my cold, dead hands, which I get. So, this website recommends that you buy less. Obviously, you don't need much and it can go a long way. Like you're only using 2 or 3 drops at a time, right? You don't need a lot.
Right.
Also, always dilute them. Dilute, dilute, dilute. They'll last longer, but it also reduces the caustic harm and,
Mm-hmm.
all the things that are possibly bad about essential oils in terms of skin contact or inhalation can probably be reduced by diluting them.
Okay.
Keep their shelf lives in mind. It can be anywhere from 1 to 6 years, and store them in a cool, dark place so they'll last longer. Again, rancid essential oils are gross.
Yeah. Wow. They might only last 1 year.
Yeah.
God, I have some from not that old, but at least 3 years ago or
Yeah.
4. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. My current set of essential oils, somebody gave to me because they were just handing them out at South by Southwest.
Right.
And
That's
I'm like,
so funny.
cool. I'm using the lavender and that's it.
Uh-huh.
Which is another point that this website made was don't buy bundles. Don't buy the starter set from doTERRA because you're probably
Oh.
not going to use all of them.
Right.
Buy the ones you need.
Right. Yeah, there's the 2 to 3, I think I have 3. Peppermint, lavender, and lemon.
Mhm.
Lemon is for cleaning,
Yep.
but I think I've used probably 20 drops out of each of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm the same way. I have some, and I'm like sometimes I'll put lavender oil on my hands, like rub it around before bed or something with my lotion. But
Okay.
another thing you should do is research whether the species of plant you're buying is on the red list of threatened species. That was the link I linked. So, like sandalwood,
Oh,
for instance, probably frankincense and myrrh are other ones you want to avoid.
they're threatened.
Yeah.
Wow. I actually, this is ignorant of me, but I had no idea there was a threatened species list for plants.
Oh, yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, overharvesting is just as bad for
Wow.
fish and plants. Yeah. They also recommend trying to find wild harvested varieties that are well managed as opposed to farms.
Okay.
again, for the pesticides and just the whole amount of land it takes. And then buy from transparent brands and avoid your grocery store. So you may have to pay more. Just be willing to front the money.
Okay.
Again, just because you did buy it from your grocery store or Amazon doesn't mean, you bought a half ounce, it's going to last you for the next 6 years. Don't throw it away just because of that. But the
Right.
next time, if you are going to buy them from a transparent brand.
Okay.
Recycle where you can. Again, you have to do some research on which essential oils can, have a bottle that doesn't get tainted. But also, you can reuse bottles,
Oh,
which is
really?
good. Yeah. And then the last yeah, you can refill essential oil bottles. I think there are some places that will do that.
Oh, interesting.
But also, you can try hydrosols instead of oils, or CO2s, which are when they extract essences from the plant using carbon dioxide.
Uh-huh.
That yields the most oil per pound.
Okay.
But hydrosols, again, rose water or other, those are easier to use, already diluted.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and
So
probably
you
less expensive.
do they sell the hydrosols of like lavender?
I haven't seen any. We should look that up. I'm
I'm
gonna.
just curious, yeah, because if you could get that instead of oil, then
Well, but you do kind of want the oil if you're okay. They do have it. There's
Hmm,
organic lavender hydrosol available.
okay.
You can get it on Amazon. I probably wouldn't, but it's a facial toner, antiseptic, insect repellent, and skin soother. Again,
Hmm,
I doubt any of that has been backed up by the FDA. But yes, it has all the same properties as essential oil. But if you're diluting it in a cleaning product, you probably want the essential oil
mhm.
just because you're going to use 2 or 3 drops of that because the hydrosol is not going to be as concentrated. It's
Right.
just already ready to use on your face, right?
Okay.
Because it's already diluted. All that being said, I had to granola rate this.
Uh-huh. Good lord.
And given all of those details, it's hard to rate them, right?
Yes.
So, do they work? Depends on what you're using them for.
Mhm.
You may be able to use them in laundry and cleaning stuff to get some antimicrobial effects and to add some good smells that aren't as toxic as fragrance number 15.
Right. And the lemon one actually has cleaning powers
Yes.
to it.
Yes, we said lemon, lavender, and thyme all appear to have some antimicrobial properties.
Yeah.
There's not much evidence that they help with health except maybe to sleep better or relieve headaches.
Okay.
Again, I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum because I think placebos are super important. And if you believe something will help you, it probably will. Just be careful. Remember, dilute, don't ingest it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they can be caustic, cause asthma and rashes, and harm pets. They're not magic bullets. And there's little evidence they do much other than smell nice. Just going to be honest. Doesn't mean it's not true. There's just little evidence.
Right.
So the science just isn't there.
Yeah.
So our next part of our rating is, are they cost effective? And it depends on which type you use and what you're using it for. So
Mhm.
again, in cleaning, a few drops can go a long way. So a little bottle may last for a year or more,
Right.
probably more. doTERRA sells their lavender oil for $37 for half an ounce. There's some on Amazon for as little as $7 for a third of an ounce. But again, the cheaper the oil, the less likely it is to be sustainably produced or
Yeah.
pure or quality.
Is
So
doTERRA any good?
my
I
friend
mean,
swore
you
by them.
said you
They're
tried. You tried
Yeah,
to find it
I
good.
tried to find out if they seem to be okay, but again, they sell everything in bundles.
Okay.
And they do have kind of a multi-level marketing aspect to them.
Right. Totally.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, the internet has been, confused by them, I'm sure.
Yes. Yes, there's a lot going on there. Are they sustainable? Okay, not really. It takes way too many plants to produce a small amount of essential oil. You can go with wild harvested plants, but again, there's so much research that has to go into their sustainability that it may not be worth it. Essential oils themselves are not good for the environment, just the production. I'm just going to say
Mhm.
that flat out.
Yeah. Yes. I
So,
agree.
given all of this, I'm going to rate them as sticky. So, that's a 2 out of 5.
Okay.
They're better than artificial fragrances, especially for cleaning, but there are too many detractors to make them truly crunchy.
And right. And I
Yeah.
agree with that because it's like because the benefits aren't proven, the
Yeah.
fact that they have such a huge impact to me makes them seem not worth it.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of if you're using them occasionally and not necessarily believing that they're a cure-all for everything.
Mhm.
I mean, if you're only buying 1 bottle every 6 years,
Right.
okay,
That's
maybe
me.
that's okay. Yeah, me too. I've had yeah. I've never even bought essential oils, or it's just gifted to me on some level.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're not killing anyone probably, but it's just like be aware of the possibility that you could harm your pet or, you know, grow breasts in your teenage son,
It's not funny, but
possibly. But again, use sparingly, dilute them,
right.
use them just
It's
to
really
clean.
that those numbers that you gave me for how much it takes. It's sort
Yes.
of like feels a little bit like almond milk to me because people
Mhm.
love their almond milk, but I again am not an expert on this. I don't know everything, but I know that I've heard that the number of almonds it takes to make almond milk is insane.
Insane.
And it's also almonds aren't very sustainable
No, they're
to
high
grow.
water. Yeah. And a lot of these plants are going to be high water guzzlers.
Wow.
Roses. There's
Right.
you can't grow a dry rose.
That's crazy.
So I did want to mention that we did talk about Dr. Bronner's having their own farms for producing essential oils for their products. They don't sell them, but you can use their lavender soap for a lot of things, which I think is a good idea. From
They're
hand washing.
lavender. Yeah.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
lavender concentrated soap.
Okay. The liquid one, does it matter? Because I
I
know
think
they
the
have a
liquid one.
bar as
Yeah, they do.
well.
I use the bar in the shower, but the liquid
Okay.
soap is great for again, I've been using it in my laundry and dishwasher,
Right.
not dishwasher, in my when I have to hand wash things.
Right. I use it on my dog. Oh.
Well, again, it's
They
diluted.
actually okay, yeah, because they actually I think on their marketing, they say that they can be a dog wash, so
Yeah.
obviously
So and
they
again,
have
you're rinsing it off.
right, and she
Yeah.
did act okay, I will say it was the peppermint one, she acted really weird after I gave her a
Well,
bath.
peppermint's kind of tingly.
Yeah, and it could have just been her mood or whatever, but, that's really interesting, I'm gonna keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
But, now I'm, like, kind of scared about dogs, but
Well, I again, dilute, dilute, dilute. You're not
yeah,
rubbing a handful of essential oil directly on your pet. Number one. Number
right.
two, if you're not using it, you're not burning it in a burner into the air. You know,
Mhm.
they're not inhaling it. You're using it, rinsing it off as a soap, and it's not in a concentrated form. It's probably okay. And you're not doing it every day either.
Right. We give her a
So
bath about once every 4 months
yeah, I know
if
my
if
dog.
that when she rolls in poop.
Yep. So I all this to say we weren't totally wrong in our initial assessment.
Okay, that actually not to sound smug, but I
Well, they're not
feel
magical. And I
yeah,
think that's kind of one of our things is that when you do anything about sustainability, nothing's magical. There's always
yes.
something.
There's always an impact.
Yeah. They aren't totally sustainable. They can be bad for the environment. They smell nice, but the amount of them that you can buy is kind of astounding. There's so many different levels. You can get so lost in the weeds trying to buy essential oils. I would say if you're not already using them, maybe don't make them part of your routine.
Right. Don't it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Kinda like dishwasher detergent from last week where I
Yeah.
was like, "It's not don't
Yeah.
do it."
And I hate to end the season on a low note, but yeah, we got another low granola rating.
Wah, wah. But it's a high note for us because we are right. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Well,
I'm
it's
just kidding.
complicated is what I came away with.
I'm kidding.
I wouldn't tell someone if they're already using essential oils, I'm not going to be like, "You shouldn't use those."
Right, absolutely. I mean, that's sort of the point of this podcast is we're not
Yeah.
here to dictate what other people should
No.
do with their lives. We're just here to present the facts and just be
Yeah.
like, "Eh, take from it what you will."
One of the problems with this is there just aren't facts. They're just not there.
Yes. That is really frustrating.
Yeah.
It's frustrating too because it's like I feel like the marketing is very misleading for that. And again, I don't really browse essential oils that much, but I feel like the marketing plays up the potential health benefits, the potential blah 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 blah, whatever, and maybe it's not actually accurate
Yeah.
or they don't have proof of it anyway.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Well, on that note,
welcome to
no,
the
I
end
think
of season 1 of Greening Up
the
My
end of season.
Act.
Well, okay, so all that means I'm excited. I'm really excited for next season. So,
Yeah.
we're
Do
going to
you
be
want to
talking. Yeah, we haven't quite figured everything out yet, but I know that, so basically we're going to be taking like 1 month off, and we have a date. When are we coming back?
You expect me to know this off the top of my head. Let's see. So we are scheduled to return July 4th.
Oh yeah, that's right, because it was the 4th of July.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're just going to be off for 1 month, and we're going to be back talking about waste.
Yeah, which is huge.
It's terrifyingly huge, and we're definitely going to get all into recycling. I think we have a series of recycling episodes
Yeah.
because it's such a huge topic. But basically, yeah, all about recycling, all about landfills, and like ways to reduce your landfill contributions.
Impact. Yep.
Probably going to be talking about composting, I think. That
Oh
was,
yeah, we have got to do a big old thing on composting.
yes, I'm really excited. I'm reading, Nancy actually has a tutorial in one of her gardening books about Nancy, our friend. Did we mention Nancy? No.
Have we mentioned Nancy Burzell recently? I don't know if you've heard of her. She's
I
kind of
feel like we always, no,
our
we
green
didn't.
goddess.
We
Yeah.
didn't mention her in this episode, but I'm going to.
Yeah, we have to. It's part of our contract that we made with ourselves.
we get paid nothing for. But anyway,
Yeah.
she talks about it's Nancy Birtwhistle. She won the Great British Bake Off. She's great. Follow her on Instagram. Anyway, yeah, she talks about composting. So it sounds like really cool if you do it right. And I'm really, really scared of it, but I do want to try it.
Maybe we can coerce my twin sister into talking about. She's been doing it for years. My dog loves her compost pile.
That's awesome.
When we go visit, he's like, "Look at all this stuff I can eat." And I'm like, "Really, Emmett?"
But yeah, so we're just going to be talking about waste and how to reduce our waste and, take it one step at a time, because I feel like all of this is
Overwhelming.
it's overwhelming, and you can't do everything at once. You can't
No.
make every life change all at once. Like you and I feel like have both kind of been on similar journeys, but it's been years.
Yeah.
I mean, years.
Well, even just this, there were small changes that I was able to make just this from your research and this podcast. Like
Totally.
I
Absolutely.
haven't bought new laundry pods,
Right.
I'm definitely going to switch over when I'm done with my latest round of dishwasher pods to just a powder,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
same. I mean, so it's gonna be really fun next season. I'm
Yeah,
excited
can't
about
wait.
it.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for our listeners this whole season. We really appreciate you. I'm just going to give the whole spiel on everything you can do. You can email us at greeningupmyact@gmail.com if you have ideas for next season or things you want to know about or questions you had about our show or comments you want to make about how wrong we were about essential oils. If you can
Just
educate me on
please.
doTERRA, that would be great. Also, you can follow us on Instagram. We are Greening Up My Act, and Tiffany is our social media maven, and she does a great job.
I try to make it entertaining at least.
She does. She's very funny.
Oh, thank you.
It's great. Yeah, like us, download us, let us know what you think about us. We love feedback.
Yes.
We love you.
And leave a review if you have a second.
Oh, that'd be great. That is. I hate when places ask for reviews, but yeah, a review would.
I don't mind it anymore now, knowing how important it is. It is important, but it's also like if you like a podcast, I don't mind leaving a review. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, leave us a review if you like us. I'm gonna call out to my twin sister. Hey, can you leave us a review, please?
Right, all of my friends, please. 5 stars.
If you love me, just give it 5 stars. But yeah, we appreciate you, and yeah, we'd love to hear feedback, and we thank you so much for taking the time out. I know listening to your friends talk for 2 hours can be really not fun all the time, but I hope we made it enjoyable to some extent and educational.
I think it's been the most fun anyone's ever had in their lives.
Obviously.
Okay, maybe that's exaggerating, but
well, correct us if we're wrong. That's what I want. Tell me I'm wrong.
Comment if we're wrong.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes. All right. So yeah, thank you. We will talk soon. We'll be back just
July
around
4th.
The corner. Just around the corner.
July 4th, 2023. If you're listening to this after that, congratulations.
Yeah.
You have another season to listen to.
Yay.
Hooray. All right. Thanks, Tiffany.
Okay. Thank you, Kat.
Talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.